My 24F fiance, 26M, and I have been together for a little over 2 years, and we got engaged just last weekend. Over the course of our relationship, I've gotten very close with one of my fiance's female friends that he has known since they were 13. At this point, she's closer to me than him. A few hours ago, I got a text from her that she had to tell me something. She had screenshots of a text conversation between the two of them from 2 years ago, the day after we became a couple. Prior to this, we were hooking up and hanging out alone, but we were not together. At one point, I couldn't do casual with him anymore and confessed how I felt, and that's when he asked me to be his girlfriend. The messages between them were my fiance basically venting that he didn't have feelings for me, but he did enjoy spending time with me, and it was clear to him that I loved him, and he felt that he could grow to love me back at his own pace, but was afraid of hurting me in the process. He's always treated me wonderfully and with so much love. There's a reason why I fell for him early, and why I so happily said yes to his proposal. Now, I don't why one. She told me after 2 years. She is in a relationship of her own, so I know she isn't trying anything with my fiance. And 2, I'm questioning our relationship. On one hand, he adores me and has been nothing but a loving, affectionate, and supportive partner, and is everything I could want in a husband. Clearly, he did grow to love me and a lot. But he asked me to be his girlfriend, knowing that he didn't feel anything romantic toward me, and it's hard to just forget that. I don't even know how I should feel or react. What do I even do right now? Fiance's friend just showed me messages between them from when we first started dating where he admits to not have any romantic feelings for me. My girlfriend Alice and I had a whirlwind romance and immediately fell for one another. Honestly, it was such a breath of fresh air. I have been dating a certain type of girl for so long, and she was so different and friendly. To meet someone I had such an instant connection with who also had all my hobbies and gave me all the best, healthy feedback was amazing. My previous relationships have been toxic or just dumb, like I was killing time with them. I was immediately in love and really pursued her. Our first date was like meeting the person I'd waited my whole life for, and our second date I pulled all the moves and spent money on a museum and dinner. I felt like we had a very serious connection right away. We spent the whole afternoon/evening together. She felt the same, I thought, and gave me every impression and put in effort, which I thought was undeniable, genuine interest. Our relationship has been incredibly lovely, sexually and emotionally fulfilling and supportive. Regarding the title, she was honest with me that she'd had a recent threesome and that she saw an old fling after we'd met, but I assumed, tell her I didn't ask for details, that the threesome was before we met, and that the old fling was a mistake, and was able to not think about it so much. Frankly, her previous sexual history is not my business, and I'm frankly glad that she has experience. It makes our sex much better. However, we were discussing the other night, and I asked for more details, and she said that both incidents occurred after we'd met. The fling came over the night after our third date, which frankly I feel humiliated about because I had some performance anxiety with a new partner and wasn't on my game, so it feels like she had him over cause I wasn't pleasing enough. The threesome happened after that during a trip she took where the whole time I was missing her, and we texted romantically and sexually. I miss yous, and I hope you're having a great time. I was thinking about you yada yada. When she returned, it felt like she never left and we continued to fall in love. She very rapidly asked if we could be exclusive, as she felt she didn't have the capacity to be with me unless I were willing to commit this way. I had absolutely no problem with this, since as far as I was concerned I already was. I was totally infatuated. I couldn't imagine sleeping with someone else at this stage, and it seemed a good assurance to make to her that we could be committed. However, with this new knowledge, all the magic of our first few dates is gone for me. I feel like she was trying to lock me down after getting in a couple of cheap thrills first. I feel like an absolute fool for fawning over her while she was texting with these guys setting up plans, and although she was honest about the actual hookups, I feel she's been incompletely honest regarding the timing of it all. I scrolled back in some of our conversations and pictures exchanged, and I'm fairly certain she sent me pictures of herself, which she also likely sent to the other men. It all just makes me sick to my stomach. I can't get it out of my head. She's been faithful since our exclusivity conversation, and she is a sweet, nice girl who's been so supportive and nurturing. Until yesterday, I was sure that I was totally in love with this woman. She's been amazingly supportive, and we have so much in common. I'm planning to introduce her to my parents in a few weeks. I love her laugh, her jokes, the way she takes care of me and the people in her life. I was looking forward to us living together, but now, even though she technically hasn't been dishonest or unfaithful, it's like all the magic of our relationship is gone. Previously, I was ravenous and couldn't wait to be touched by her, and now the thought of being sexual with her feels so dirty. I can't get over the fact that she didn't technically do anything wrong, and yet I can't get this bug out of my brain. I have another problem. I've had an incredibly emotional week regarding work and my friendships, which is a whole other story, but I can't tell if I'm overreacting and shooting myself in the foot, or if I'm totally valid in feeling wronged. So, how should I feel? How can I get over this? Do I go nuclear and break up? My new girlfriend, whom I developed a deep romantic connection with very quickly, slept with 3 men after we'd met during a period of time that wasn't defined as exclusive, but when I felt committed. I can't get over it because we had been texting romantically at the same time, and all the magic of those memories are ruined for me. I'm sick to my stomach, and I asked her to move in with me recently. I need to figure out how to get over this, or move on from her even though she hasn't done anything wrong. I'm 24F, and in a situation I never thought I'd be in, and honestly, I'm feeling kind of lost. 3 years ago, I had a one-night stand with a guy. He's 25 now, and it ended with me getting pregnant. We never dated or anything. There was no relationship beyond that night. But here we are, co-parenting our 3-year-old son, doing our best to make it work for his sake. So, his dad has been with a woman who's 30 for a little over 4 years now. She's nice enough, I guess, and she's around my son a lot when he's at his dad's place. I've been okay with that. I mean, I can't control what happens when my son's not with me, and if she's good to him, that's what matters, right? At least, that's what I keep telling myself. But then my son's first word was mama, and it wasn't to me, it was to her. Yeah, let that sink in. My son called her mama before he ever called me that. It felt like someone punched me in the stomach when I heard it. And ever since then, he keeps calling her mommy. Not just once or twice, all the time. The thing is, she doesn't discourage it. In fact, she seems to like it. She's perfectly fine with him calling her that, almost like she's taking on the role herself. It's gotten to the point where I don't know if my son even sees me as mom, or if he thinks she's his mother now. I haven't had the guts to bring it up with his dad or her because I'm worried it'll turn into a bigger thing than it needs to be. I don't want to sound insecure or jealous, but it's eating away at me. I'm his mother, not her, and I don't want my son to be confused about that. I don't want to be pushed aside like I'm just some babysitter while she gets to play mom with my kid. AITA for feeling this way. Should I bring it up with them? And if I do, how the hell do I even start that conversation without sounding like a mess? I just don't want my son to forget who his real mom is, but I also don't want to come across like I'm trying to make things awkward. Has anyone else gone through something like this? I'm really at a loss here. Any advice would be appreciated. My son calls his dad's girlfriend mama. What should I do?